Good afternoon and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for participating in our Unmanned Aircraft Systems UAS Summit. As you can see, it has quite an impressive and full agenda. Now, before we start, we should set some context. Now, get ready to respond in the chat window. So if you can respond to me in the chat window, find the chat window. I think it's under More, and then there's Chat. Right, and then you can either do it to me or do it across the board. But over the day, we're going to be using the chat for our questions and answers. So let's test it. Okay. So if we're ready, what do you call an aircraft piloted by an all-female flight crew? Put it into your answers.
Oh.
An unmanned aircraft. Yes, as an industry, we may need some diversity training, okay? And we may need to change the unmanned aircraft term to something more appropriate. Perhaps, I don't know, unpersoned aircraft, so the UAS acronym still works. Okay, my name is Waseem Naqvi. I currently serve as the chair for the New England chapter of the AUVSI, and as the Director of Technology for Raytheon's Unmanned Systems business. Looks like we lucked out with the weather here in sunny Massachusetts. Thank you all for making it and participating in this virtual forum. As it is virtual, you all have access to the program, speaker biographies, and other information by accessing the event website. So this year, the theme for the UAS Summit is Innovative Partnerships to Advance Operations. So what does this mean? So over the last few years, we've been working on the low-level mechanics of how this new UAS industry will work. Okay, that is, we're busy trying to work out how to build reliable, safe flying machines. But now we have to consider the other enablers, such as regulation, infrastructure, multimodal transportation, and such things. So in essence, how can we collaborate together to define and make this new industry real? So we're targeting a world where 2 and 2 is a lot more than 5. So our program today and tomorrow has been designed to move from thinking about the new reality to causing it to happen. So today we have, or for the summit, we have 4 insightful panel sessions that are addressing how we move to operationalization. They are organized as collaborative pairings where the 2 entities help each other. Panel 1 will focus on federal-state collaboration opportunities and operations and how to find a path through this overlapping regulatory environment landscape. The panel members will discuss how to enable UAS, advanced air mobility, operations services, and also identification of potential threats through air domain awareness. Panel session 2 discusses the investment landscape and enablers to achieve an integrated airspace. Interesting enough, we'll also hear from entrepreneurs who have identified how to take the capabilities from UTM, UAS traffic management, and AAM, advanced air mobility industries, and apply them in less regulated environments. I think you'll find it fascinating. Panel session 3 investigates next generation technologies and solutions. For this session, academia has been paired with industry or government to collaborate on realizing these technologies, and importantly, as next generation solutions and products, right? So how do we move from advanced technologies into real products? And I think you'll really enjoy that session. It'll be riveting. Our panel session 4 will look at how to drive investment and build an innovation economy at the state level. Since we're in Massachusetts, we look at it. We look at what Massachusetts is positioned to do to drive the industry, and then what does industry need to do to see and justify investment. This will be followed by a discussion on how to add agility to realize these investments. We have 4 internationally recognized thought leaders providing keynote remarks, starting in a few minutes with Colonel Nathan Diller, Director of U.S. Air Force AFWorks, who will discuss how to engage with U.S. Air Force AFWorks and Agility Prime. This afternoon, Steve Bradford, Chief Scientist at the for FAA NextGen, who's always great entertainment, will give us an update on UTM, UIM, and importantly, how we can access airspace. You're going to have a great day. Tomorrow, we have Davis Hackenberg, the Advanced Air Mobility Mission Integration Manager from NASA, and he'll update us on NASA's ambitious AIM program and how it can stimulate the industry. And our final keynote is from Scott Newburn, Chief Technology Officer at AeroVironment, who will provide an industry update on how autonomy is changing the game. It'll be a fascinating session. All right, I forgot to update that. Okay. Like we did at our last UAS summit, we've decided again to feature a pitch fest. So both today and tomorrow, you'll hear from 8 organizations each day that'll overview their capabilities. This will be a rapid fire, eclectic set of unmissable remarks. And I'm sure you'll be blown away by the capabilities offered. This provides a great networking opportunity, and so we will make sure that we provide the contact information for each of the Pitch Fest participants. I'd like to thank our summit sponsors and co-hosts. So we have provided commercial breaks where you can hear from sponsors such as Raytheon Technologies, Boston Engineering, Northeastern University's Costas Research Institute, Real-Time Innovations, Autonodyne, AeroVironment, ARE, and Mass Autonomy, right? Also MassDOT. Please help me give them a hand. They are helping to keep this event affordable. I know it's difficult, but we'll try. I'd also like to thank our UAS Summit Planning Committee. Normally I would ask them to stand up. Cannot do that today, but without them, we couldn't put on this event. So please, please recognize our planning committee. And now it's my great pleasure to introduce my good friend and colleague, Dr. Jeffrey DeCarlo, Administrator for Massachusetts Department of Transport Aeronautics, to say a few words. Jeff?
Thank you, Waseem. I really appreciate it. And yes, as Waseem mentioned, I'm the MassDOT Aeronautics Administrator. I'm also lead for the Commonwealth UAS Integration Program. And Waseem and the rest of the directors have to put up with me on the board also for AUVSI. So, you know, they deal with it. But in any case, I also want to thank everyone for actually putting in a lot of effort to get this show on the road. Amanda Bernhardt from corporate AUVSI, really appreciate it. Amy Fagerlin and Sharon Benedict did, you know, yeoman's work, you know, fantastic. Obviously, we would love to be together with you all. And looking through the list of names, probably at least half of you we've met either in 2018 in the Seaport or last year at KRI. But we expect to have a fantastic set of sessions and events here during the next 2 days. The conference is fully open. No press has been invited, but it's an open event, just so everyone's aware of that. We are recording the event for posterity here, and interesting that that's happening. I want to make sure that you know that that's happening. I really am excited that AUVSI New England is co-sponsoring this event with Mass Autonomy. You're going to hear a lot more about Mass Autonomy, especially tomorrow afternoon. You know, I really appreciate, as a state aeronautics lead, what AUVSI does from the standpoint of events, networking, and really education for folks within our team, within our organizations, and across our ecosystem. So we really appreciate that. Mass Autonomy will go to the next level. We'll bring together industry, academia, and government to do really great things. And it's going to be very, very practical. So it's not just paying lip service to industry, academia, and government. It's actually getting together and getting things done. So really, really excited about that. The pairs format that Waseem mentioned is very interesting. I know from a state perspective, when we speak of airspace, there's, you know, the FAA has, you know, the federal folks at the FAA have preemptive authority there. There are areas that it's going to be unclear going forward There could be some overlapping regulatory questions. And so that's going to be very interesting. It could be one part of a pair just has a problem they need to solve. And so there's a need, and you have somebody with a super solution, right? And then you could be in a situation where you have the dueling pairs. I don't think you're going to see that in the next couple of days, but you know what? Could be a perceived tense situation, can create great critical analysis leading to fantastic optimized solutions. So the big thing is agreeing to get together and work together. And so looking forward to that. So the agenda is extremely rich. I think you'll be interested in the addition of a pitch fest. We used that last year at KRI for our event. We got a pitch fest each day, and the commercial breaks are going to be quite interesting. So thank you very much for participating. And without further ado, I want to hand it back to Waseem so we can introduce somebody that's interesting, Colonel Nate Diller, and interesting to say the least, and really driving a lot of what's happening around something he's going to talk about. So thank you very much, everyone, and Waseem, back to you.
Thank you, Jeff.